Welcome to the Bible Forum. It is Sunday night, January 20th, 2019, and Bunnu is coming. Maybe. Bunnu is a 1,600-foot rock. It is situated between Earth and Mars. It weighs 87 million tons, and it is currently orbiting the Sun. Now, NASA says there's a slim chance this asteroid could make impact with Earth on September 25, 2135. And of course, if it did, it is estimated that the energy unleashed during impact would be equivalent to 1,200 megatons, 80,000 times greater than that released by the Hiroshima bomb. Scientists are hoping it will help them learn more about where humans come from and where we are going. How? Well, because they believe asteroids carried the chemicals to Earth that led to the beginning of living organisms. NASA recently announced plans to smash a spaceship into this asteroid. Their goal is to try to change its course and prevent it from smashing into us. But planetary defense experts have raised concern that it might not work. The probability of a Bunnu impact may be 1 in 2,700 today. But according to the experts, that is going to change, either for the better or for the worse, as they gather more and more data about its orbit. For us, for them, apparently delay is the greatest enemy of any asteroid deflection mission. I want you to consider the Bible. Revelation chapter 8, to be specific. Here, John is witnessing the breaking of the seventh seal. Remember, there's a scroll was sealed with 7 seals, 7 being the number of completion. And as each of those seals are broken, the scroll unwraps a little bit until the next seal must be broken for it to unwrap even farther. And each time it reveals more of God's ultimate judgment. When the seal is broken, the events described will be the final events before Jesus returns to earth. And in this chapter of Revelation, we see a great mountain burning as it were a lamp and falling upon a third part of the waters and upon the fountain of waters in verse 10. One meteor, burning as a lamp, falling from the sky. John names this mountain Wormwood. The word wormwood literally means bitterness. It is emblematic of destruction. And when it crashes to the earth, destruction is what it brings. 1/3 of the sun will be blocked out, no doubt from the debris. 1/3 of the moon and the stars will be dimmed for the same reason. So much so that 1/3 of the day's sunlight shone not. Same is true about the night, with no moon, no stars. The darkness is intense. Now, the term mountain is an accurate term for a large asteroid. This asteroid, 1 mile in diameter, sitting on the surface of the earth, would be called a mountain. It would be 5,280 feet high. Even more, John's description of an asteroid impacting the sea is identical to scientific models created at several universities during the last 10 years. For example, The tidal wave caused by a great asteroid impact would destroy ships for hundreds of miles in every direction, even those docked in remote seaports. The destruction of the recent tidal wave in Indonesia is illustrative. Think about the commotion of the ocean after such an impact. Jesus, speaking in the Gospel according to Luke in chapter 21, says, "And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the sea and the waves roaring, men's hearts failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then they shall see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory." According to studies conducted at the University of California, an asteroid of this magnitude would be so hot by the time it hit an ocean that it would make a large part of the ocean water anoxic, meaning oxygen deficient. Think of the sea life that would die. By simply boiling the oxygen out of a large area of the sea, these animals would die. And the sea temperatures would rise dramatically, and the hot water would be destructive in and of itself. The warmed anoxic water resulting from the impact would also provide a perfect environment for the growth of red algae, or what is known as red tide. When John said the sea turned to blood, he may actually have been describing this red algae, which thrives in oxygen-deficient water. Now, all this is speculation, that is, as it concerns Bunnu. This is a natural meteor, and according to the scientists, it's expected in about 30 years. NASA plans to launch a rocket and try to change its trajectory, but what the Bible's talking about is most likely something God designs and sends our way, not a natural event, although it could be. Either way, it's something to think about, and weigh your own spiritual condition in the balance. Because should any of this occur, would you be ready? No. Not with an escape plan, but with a spiritual plan. And not simply running around, I don't want to die in this way, catastrophe. Rather with a new perspective that causes you to think more seriously about life and what all this means. It is so easy to get caught up in day-to-day issues and begin to think that those day-to-day issues are what's important. And of course they aren't. Even though they are very important, they're not the most important thing in the world. You see, our spiritual condition is far more important. The future is far more significant. Eternity will last forever. And you will be somewhere. The issue here is, what do you think about God? Now, what do you think about Bunnu? Are you in line, in harmony with God's purposes? Or are you just in line with your own, or your families, or your communities, or your culture? The Bible casts all of this in terms of our heart. You see me pointing to the center of my chest? That's what we do. But that's not our heart. That's the pump. When the Bible talks about our heart, it's talking about the very essence, the heart of our being. And the Bible says that's where the problem lies, not in the pump. The Bible also speaks of saving our soul, not our flesh and blood. and certainly not our bank account. Our immaterial part, the essential us, in which we are cased inside this body. The latter, all the external, the physical things, are about the here and the now, and about our immediate future. But the soul, the spirit, the heart of our being, that immaterial part, is about something else. It's about there, not here. Are you prepared to be there? Or are you banking on here and hoping that here is all there is? And that when this body wears out and collapses and dies, that'll be the end? You better hope so, if your heart's not right with God. Just saying. Think about it.